And I'm wondering, how do you integrate spirituality into business? And how can it help you develop emotional resilience?
Right. So spirituality means something different for every single person. For me, it just means connecting to myself and doing whatever that aligns with my values and what makes what creates meaning for myself. And what was really interesting was throughout my business journey, when I started my first business 2.5 years ago, it was in direct alignment with my spiritual journey as well. Every time I had a big obstacle in the business where I was reaching a plateau, I was like, my first 6 months, I was making like 10,000 a month. Everything was great. And then I started plateauing and I started couldn't attract new clients. And then things were going on wrong in social media. I couldn't get the results I wanted, the views, the engagement and everything. There was no conversion in the clients. And this happens for me. I realized there's always a cycle. There's always a cycle with me that every 6 months or so, I would reach a type of plateau in the business. And this is the moment that I've done over and over again, to just stop for a minute, pause, and look within yourself again and ask yourself, what is currently not working? Most of the times we would look externally to the business, right? That's very masculine energy. Let's look at the data. Let's look at the hard facts. Okay, the social media strategy is not working because X, Y, Z. But in my specific experience, I noticed that whenever my business is not working, it means I've lost touch with myself. I give you a very specific example. For the first year, I was only doing my program was only on investing. Very stock market focused. I had always this type of outfit on. It was very like blazer, very professional. But I realized over time, I'm like, this is not really me. Celine loves to dance. Celine loves to talk about spirituality, about personal development, about feminine energy. And I was like, how do I incorporate that in my whole personal brand so it's more authentic and aligned with me? And the moment I started like really being brave enough to show every aspect and not be like, oh, people are gonna not take me seriously, because how can I be an investment coach and do TikTok dances and talk about this kind of stuff? Like, how is that? But no, like, just do what feels right for you, what feels true to you. And the moment I started doing that, I started attracting my dream clients. My videos started going viral. Like within just 2 weeks, I have one video that goes 10 million views, and I start increasing my followers from like 10,000 to 120,000 within just 1 month. So it's just like these moments, those sparks, when you just have to look within yourself again, be honest with yourself, be aligned. And then that's how you incorporate spirituality into business.
Love that. And we're going to move now into mental and physical health. I was going to ask you a question later on, but I think it's really connected to the question I actually wanted to ask you. Can you explain a little bit more about the Luna Abundance method and how you can help people optimize their productivity, their health, and what are and I'm also very curious, in what ways do men and women approach their mental and physical health differently, right? Like, what's the difference with this approach for men and women as well?
So to answer your first question, with the Luna Abundance method, this is something that I created throughout all the obstacles I went through with my business, was that every time I was so focused on the masculine energy of just achieving, getting money, goals, and so on, it gets you to a certain point, but at one point you reach a glass ceiling. And every time you reach a glass ceiling, you need to stop and reflect and slow down a bit. That's the feminine energy, to reconnect with yourself, to center and ground yourself and really ask yourself these questions, what aligns with you. And then once you get those answers, because all your answers are within yourself. You just need to know how to listen to it and listen to your intuition. But as soon as you stop and you figure out those answers, then you go full force. Then you use your masculine energy to take the action. And then you have this cycle of like this dance between the feminine and the masculine energy. And this is how I created the Luna Abundance method, is specifically for women, for business women. How do you incorporate feminine energy in your business so that you can achieve even more success? So this is how in the first part of the program is a lot about the spiritual aspect, looking within yourself, different meditation techniques, holistic approach. and then the actual tools, like how do you actually invest? How do you actually look at numbers in a company and then start buying your stocks? That's the masculine energy, right? So that's what I would say is the first part. And then the second question
was more around, first I asked you about the Luna Abundance
Right.
method, right? Like how you can optimize your productivity, your health, and then also the difference, how,
how men and women.
yeah, it is for men and women.
Okay, so okay, how many girls? I just want to ask you girls a question. How many of you girls know about cycle syncing? Cycle syncing. It's not.
So about.
You want to?
No, I'm just like saying what percentage, like 20%,
Yes.
30?
Yes.
No, everyone, 100%.
Okay. It's a. There's a common misconception. So it's not syncing your menstrual cycle with another person. It's actually understanding women, we have a different hormonal cycle as men. Men repeat testosterone levels, increase, decrease 24 hours, and it just repeats. Meaning every day men could just be on the go. Like literally 365 days, you guys can just keep going. You can keep hustling without really burning out. But as women, our hormonal cycle repeats on a 28-day cycle. And our estrogen increases when we're ovulating and then decreases as we reach menstrual cycle. So when you understand that hormones really affect your energy, you can understand how to optimize your business, your day-to-day activities, optimize it with your cycle. So typically I'll give you a very short, brief summary of that. In the beginning, day 1 to day 10 is when you're done with your menstrual cycle. So when you're just starting and your follicular phase, your estrogen is increasing, this is when you're starting to get a lot of energy. This is when you feel like a superwoman. You can go to the gym, you could do high intensity training, you can like just do a lot of stuff, you feel energized. And this is the time, this theme should be when you're starting new things. Brainstorming, this is when you're the most creative, you can create new ideas, brainstorming content, business ideas, and so on. When you're ovulating in the 3 to 4 days, this is mating season. So this is when you're naturally more magnetic, you're more communicative, you're better at verbalizing. And actually scientifically, they have shown that the pitch of your voice as a woman increases slightly and is been kind of anonymously judged as more attractive when you're ovulating. So if you know that you're ovulating, you can actually use this to your advantage, and you can go to networking events, you speak to people, connecting, doing your sales calls. When you're communicating during this ovulation phase, you're extremely powerful. And then of course, the luteal phase, things start to slow down. You do work on completing tasks, doing admin work and so on. And then finally, when you're menstruating, you should just really rest, because hustle culture and like the patriarchy is like, okay, even when you're on your period, you gotta go. But this is really against our nature. And actually, if you fight it and you keep pushing, it actually is counterproductive. And then when you're moving on to your new cycle again, you slow down, you're not on the go. You need to give yourself rest. So this is what I teach with women is like, if you're a businesswoman, actually understand your body. We're different from men. We're not supposed to be working the same way as men.
Wow.